holistic radio, spiritual radio. This is AchieveRadio.com. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/AchieveRadio.
I'm Ann Marie, and thank you for coming by. It's the day for before Thanksgiving here in America, which is a national holiday celebrated primarily here on the third Thursday of November in the United States and on the second Tuesday in October in Canada. So, what is it all about? Well, mainly, I think a lot of times it's about relatives getting together and hollering at the dinner table over issues that they thought they put away. But on the really good side, Thanksgiving is a great time for grandmas to get together with their kids, for moms to get together with their families. For if you're blessed enough to have a huge family, then you can kind of get back in touch with everybody and pick up where you left off last Thanksgiving or last Christmas. If you're like me, I live about 1,000 miles away from my family, and the last thing I want to do is get on a plane during this crazy time of year. I hear that there are about 500 planes that are going through problems on delays, and last thing you want is to have airport Thanksgiving turkey. So the main thing is not to worry. Those of you that may be alone on Thanksgiving, it's a great time to curl up with a book. It's a great time to maybe just, look at all of the things around you that need done and do them, get her done. It's a great time to take your dog for a walk. It's a great time to just go visit a good friend you haven't seen for a while. Or if you were like me when I was single, I was just really good at being adopted by married people who would just seem to like my company because I was down to earth, and it would always be sitting around with everybody else's kids and everybody else's family, and I would just kind of quietly sit in and drink my coffee and nod. So, it works no matter what way you look at it. Today, I'm offering free Thanksgiving readings on your romance, on your career, angel blessings, gifts. Maybe you have a dysfunctional relationship or you have an office dispute. Whatever it is that may be bothering you right now, just call 626-666-6027. And you can also watch on Achieve Radio. I know on most of my Facebook advertising today, I did leave the TV link and I did not leave the radio link. So those of you that want to just listen and forget about all of this Achieve YouTube TV stuff, I don't blame you a bit. Some people are just not having computers that are savvy on that. Just go ahead to achieveradio.com and you'll find a Studio A, and you can click on that tab and just listen. So today, I'd like to start out the show while I'm holding my coffee in my new 1950s cafe cup. I'd like to just do a small meditation, and then we can go to Ashish from California afterwards. Let's just concentrate on relaxing and putting your feet on the floor or just sitting back. And if you will, just imagine a beautiful light of a color that you particularly love coming down from above, entering into the top of your head, and filling your entire body with a beautiful, warm light. And maybe you can feel it start to heal some of the sickness or some of the dysfunction within your body. Just send it through your toes out of your body. Feel that same beautiful light emanating around your heart region, giving you a wonderful glow. And that you will not allow yourself to stress out if you are alone on Thanksgiving, or you will not allow yourself to stress out if you are with family, realizing that sometimes the best thing to do when you don't have anything good to say is just to smile wisely and say nothing. Just remembering that beautiful light within your body, pushing out any of the stress or anxiety or the illness within your body. And with that, opening your eyes and starting fresh. And all of you that may be here on the archives, hopefully you had a good Thanksgiving. So let's start out with Ashish in California. Hi, buddy. How you doing today?
Oh, hey, Ann Marie. I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Well, I'm doing good. It was a hectic time getting here. I was just telling Bill, our engineer guy here, and the owner of Achieve, that I got a new modem, and then suddenly everybody wanted new passwords to get into the smallest of things on my internet. So by the skin of my teeth, I got into the show today. So how about you? What's going on with you today, buddy?
I'm doing fine. Actually, my dad, he's not doing well. I mean, 2 weeks ago, he was in intensive care unit. I mean, he got brain hemorrhage.
Yes.
And now, he seems to be recovering a little bit, but he's still not doing great. So that's what I wanted to find out. What do you see for him?
All right. Well, what is it that you what is it that you call your dad, or what is his first name?
His first name is Ram, R-A-M.
Okay, Ram. And then
Yeah.
if we look at your and then just say dad.
Yeah, Dad.
Thank you. So if we look at your dad today and look at how is he doing and where is his head at right now during this time of some illness in his body, and it shows that for the most part, Ashish, I see that he is feeling very blessed. He feels confident that he's going to get through this, and that his awareness of himself and his health is going to get better and increase, and that there is a feeling that his trust in his family on issues that he was not so trustworthy on is going to get stronger. He's going to trust, he's going to be more aware of his health, and there's just a sense that his eyes show good fortune around him. So I would not give up on your dad. I think that he certainly hasn't given up on himself. And if I look at what is it that he needs most from you as a son, and looking at that, and your reading says that what your dad needs most from you right now is for you to send out your prayers and your good intentions and meditations to him. What he needs from you is to encourage him. What he needs from
Right.
you is to understand that at this particular time, maybe he doesn't really understand where he's going to fit into life right now and what his health is going to allow. Most of all, what he needs from you is to just maybe make him more aware that he needs to think of this as a wake-up call about getting his affairs in order for the distant future, but it's maybe a wake-up call, about anything that he did not have in order. And most of all, he may like for you to handle some of his struggles with bills or whatever else at this particular time while he's healing. So it may be a wake-up call for him to get his affairs in order. I need to get my affairs in order. I am so idealistic, Ashish, sometimes that I think every day I really need to get a will. But a lot of times
Right.
I just postpone it, and I don't. And that's going to put so many people and so many things up in the air if I do that. And I think that, maybe your dad has, but he just maybe needs to think of a few things. So I think he's going to survive. I think he's going to be okay. And I think that most of all, he just needs you to help kind of get him motivated. And I think he's going to pay more attention to his health.
Yeah, I mean, I think, I traveled to India 2 weeks ago. At that time, he was really doing bad. I mean, doctors almost gave up on him. And then, and then when I reached there a couple of days later, he started improving. And it was close to being miraculous, with him. I mean, usually the kind of injury that he got, people usually do not survive more than a couple of days. But I mean, so far he has been able to, make it, and that's what made me worried, and that's what I wanted to find out. How do you see,
Yeah.
for him?
Yeah, and okay. I don't know, Ashish, I'm getting a little bit of robotic sound on my side, so I'm trying to understand what you're saying. Every other syllable's cutting out for me, and it just may be on my side. But I guess I would say that at this point, if there's any wisdom for you about where you are in life right now, not only with your dad, but just where are you spiritually during this time? And it shows at this particular time, it says maybe, just maybe, you have not been real honest with yourself about some opportunities that have been open to you. And it says that maybe you got yourself on a one-track desire to get something done, and you forgot about some little things that are also options for you. Your reading says don't wait for anybody to try to be supportive of you on trying to make new decisions in your life. This has to be you communicating with others around you about new options. And most of all, it needs to be about you building up your self-esteem and realizing you have many gifts and many talents. And just because one thing may not be working at this particular time, it certainly does not mean that something you were thinking about maybe 10 years ago shouldn't be stimulated and started to take action on. So it says this is a good time for you not to go in the blindness of your father in some of the chaos that or the, maybe some of the less wise things he was doing with his life. And you need to start thinking about, how does this affect you? What lesson are you learning from your dad? And maybe is this time to think about other options for yourself to wake up your life as well.
Right.
Okay?
Yep, it does make sense. Yep, it does make sense.
Yep. And by the way, did your wife get a job?
Yeah, she did. I mean, she's in right now in a contract position. I mean, which is, ending in December. So for her also, I don't know. I mean, if she has anything for next year or not. But I mean, right now she's in a contract position with one of the companies here.
Ah. So things are better.
Yeah, things are better, but partially, with this, that situation, and that's been the case for the past 3 years. I
Yeah.
mean, I've been, family-wise, I have been into, situation like this for the past 3 years. Um, and it has always been my dad. He has been sick for the past 3 years, and all major, you know, he had all major issues for the past 3 years. But this one is more kind of a critical situation that he is in right now.
Well, I can honestly tell you that I think this is going to be a greater year for you. I show more self worth, more ambition, and more opportunities open for you. So I just think this is going to be not only a better year for your dad, but for you too. Okay?
Okay. Yep. Thank you.
Thank you, hon.
Thanks for your
Bye.
kind word. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.
All right. I do want to say that uh, during this Thanksgiving time, and I want to say hi to Lena and hi to Sue, and I want to say hi to Emily. And I also want to play today an important um, tape about. It's called Bashar, The Path of Highest Excitement. After I do a couple of readings, I think it's a very, very, very good, stimulating conversation for getting you stimulated about your passionate path in life. And Bashar was Daryl Anka, who is a channel for Bashar, was on our show, and since then he's gone to some pretty important places, and it'll be very hard to get him back on the show. But I'm hoping sometime that I may be able to. And right now, all I have is his voice and his wonderful show on excitement, following the highest path of excitement. So let's take a couple more readings, and then I do want to play that. Let's start out with Emily. Emily is from Connecticut and says, I am presently unemployed and wonder if you have any insight into this for me regarding new employment. Is there anything coming my way? Thanks so very much, Ann Marie. Emily, usually I know that, lots of people don't like to call in into the show, but it always does help me if I can hear your voice for an even clearer reading. But Emily, if I look at job potential for you, what I have shows that the next, and I don't know what I have three. Three can be 3 weeks, or it can be 3 months. Maybe a lot of that also depends on you, it says, and making sure that you don't settle on old job applications and continuing to try to apply for some new ones. I show that you will have certainly a job within, I show 8 weeks. The other time frame would be, you know, 3 months. So I hope that you have some unemployment that you're depending on right now. The other thing I would hope is that right now you are remembering to continue to apply for new jobs and don't you give up. Again, the time frame seen is 7, which I hope is no longer than 7 weeks or 8 weeks, which would be 2 months. And remember, keep your hopes up. Manifest as much as you can by putting a prayer out to your angels and let them know that you put it in their hands. But you remember also you have to help out too by applying for new jobs. Let's go to Sue from Massachusetts, and she says, hello, Ann Marie. I quit my job due to harassment at work, so I would like to know if you see me finding another job soon. Another job. Well, Sue, I would tell you, honey, it's never a good idea to quit a job until you have a new one to go to. And I can understand that you're not going to get unemployment because you did quit. So if I look at when will you find another job, I don't mean to be repetitious, but I also see for you the number 8. So I hope that you have family to stay with, or you have a way of postponing your bills since you did quit your job, because I show it could be a little while. I do show 8 on that. So we're going to go to Lena, and says, I am worried about my boyfriend's health because he is recovering from shingles. I know you don't diagnose, but can you do a general reading for him on this? His name is Sunny. Thank you, and have a great Thanksgiving. Lena, you are aware that there is a shingles shot? So whatever you do, get your boyfriend to a doctor and get him a shingles shot. Shingles shots can work to prevent shingles from ever coming back. So that is my advice to you, get a shingles shot. If I do a reading on his shingles in the future, it says, there is a part of him that at this particular time sees that he can certainly heal, but he's also very stubborn. And it says, rather than break his own heart by getting another case of shingles and waiting until the very last minute before he does something about it, do tell him that his best option is to go get protection. Think of it as putting a rubber on before you have sex. A shingles shot is the metaphysical, symbolic rubber to prevent you from getting another case of shingles. All right? So that's my advice for you. So we're going to listen to Bashar speak on the path of highest excitement. For those of you that need to have some motivation, this will do it for you. For you're jobless, listen to this. It will help you find that job faster. Okay? Here we go.
This is my first experience with you here.
Well, this is my first experience with you. Congratulations.
Thank you. So I have a mundane question.
There are no mundane questions.
Oh, great. That's good to know.
Thank you. Is it important to you?
Yes, it is.
Why would you consider it mundane, then?
Because I felt like everyone else was asking questions that pertain to...
Oh, big
other,
cosmic issues.
Yes, and I
The daily questions of physical life are just as spiritual as any other question. You understand?
Yes, thank you.
Equality to all.
Yes.
If it is important to you, it is not mundane.
Thank you.
All right. What is your question?
My question is, I'm in a work environment where I want to know what my purpose there is and how soon can I get unstuck to create the life that I really want, that I prefer.
Right. The way we usually go about exploring this issue is to ask you a question, and certainly not a mundane one at all. The question we ask is, are you doing what excites you the most in life or not?
No.
Thank you for your honesty. The next question is, when will you choose to do what excites you the most in life? Bigger question.
I wanted to choose it yesterday, but...
And you didn't because? What belief systems are holding you back?
Fear.
Of?
Fear of...
Yes. Fear of what?
Choosing something and that not really being what really brings me joy.
So you're saying that if you choose something that excites you, you might actually be choosing something that doesn't excite you.
Well, my challenge is
yes.
choosing something that excites me, because it may excite me.
Why is that a challenge? It's easy to do.
Yes, okay.
Well, do you believe that? Obviously not.
No.
All right. May I explain it to you in a way that will allow it to seem easier?
Yes, please.
Why, thank you. The idea that has been, in a sense, perpetrated throughout much of your New Age consciousness of following your bliss and acting on your excitement usually doesn't come with a clear explanation of why or how to do that.
Mm-hmm.
The idea simply is to understand it first and foremost in a very simplified manner, as follows. When we talk about the idea of acting on your joy, your highest excitement, at any given moment, we don't necessarily mean that it has to be a life-spanning career, a gigantic project, an all-consuming endeavor. We literally mean act on whatever is at any given moment out of all the choices you have available to you, many of which may seem mundane. Just act at any given moment on the one that contains the highest amount of excitement out of all the choices you have the ability to take action on. Period. That's it. It's that simple. Excitement is a thread. It leads to all other excitement. So if you are simply sitting around going, oh, I don't know what excites me, just look at what your options are. Just list your options at that moment. If the only options are go shopping, take a walk on the beach, call a friend, just for an example, just pick the one that's most exciting and act on it to the best of your ability, taking it as far as you can till you can take it no further. When you come to the next crossroad, look at the options available to you then, pick the one that's most exciting, you have the greatest degree of ability to take action on, and take action on it. When you come to the next crossroad, do the same thing. When you come to the next crossroad, do the same thing. The excitement that you follow will automatically draw you into a series of synchronistic events that will constantly accelerate and expand your ability to experience excitement, and constantly accelerate and increase your ability to experience that your excitement will actually be capable of supporting you in your life if you keep moving in that way. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Now, the question is, do you believe it? Because the idea is that when we, first of all, offer the idea that all you have to do at any given moment is simply choose out of the relatively normal options available to you, if you can't think of any all-encompassing excitement, if you just choose the most exciting option out of whatever is available to you and act on it, when we offer that suggestion up, very often the first thing that comes out of the human mind is, but that's not connected to this, or how can that support me? I don't understand. You don't have to understand. That's the beauty of it. The idea is that your physical mind is not designed, never was, and never will be designed to understand how things will happen. It is not designed to understand or comprehend how something that you act on that excites you will bring you the thing you need somewhere down the line. So you don't have to think about how that's going to happen. All you have to do is act on it knowing that it will. Because the human mind is only designed to experience how things are happening. That's it. The human mind is only designed, the physical mind is only designed to understand the physical experience. The mechanism of how these things come to you come from a higher realm that is beyond the purview of the physical mind to comprehend or understand or be able to completely perceive. So you need to stop doing the job of the higher mind, let the higher mind do its job, and bring you these things as you need them in the way that it benefits you best. All you need to do to activate that mechanism, and we'll be talking a little bit more tomorrow about the idea of the mechanism of manifestation in a more complete investigation of that mechanism, but the only thing you really have to do is just start the ball rolling by acting on whatever excitement you are capable of acting on, and thus then by doing so, acting as an example to the higher mind, proving that you're willing to move in that direction so that the higher mind can go, finally she is willing to act in that vibration, so I can now give her more of that vibration, more things that are representative of that vibration, because she is showing by her behavior that she's willing to act on it. But if you're not willing to act on your excitement, why should the higher mind give you something to act on if you're not going to act on it? You see, you have to clear the space by acting on what you are capable of acting on before you make room for something bigger to come in. Because if you're not going to act on what you've got, well, higher mind is not going to do pointless things and give you things you're not going to act on. So you simply stop the whole process of your excitement expanding. Does that make sense mechanically?
Yes.
Are you willing to believe that you can act on your excitement and know that it will lead you where you need to be led?
Yes.
Trusting the synchronicity that will occur?
Yes.
We'll see. But that's the basic explanation of how it works. So when you say you have a difficult time figuring out what excites you, I apologize, but we actually don't believe you. Because it's really simpler than you think. You're just having a difficult time understanding a clear definition of excitement and following it. You follow?
I do follow. I think the other part of that is because if I'm in a work environment and
Yes.
my excitement may be not to be there.
Then leave. Although, understand, we are very aware of what your belief systems are all about, many of you. And if you have a belief system that says if you leave that work environment, as much as you may not find it exciting, if you have a belief system that says that leaving that work environment is going to put stress on you, is going to, in a sense, cause you harm in some way, then you must honor your belief system for as long as you're going to hold on to it. But at least take the steps you can take. At least take the steps of acting on your excitement that you are willing to take. And the more you do that, the more your excitement will prove to you that it can support you as well. And the more it shows you it can support you, the more you'll be willing to let go of those things you don't prefer. So you can do it at your own pace. Don't dishonor your belief system. You can jump off the cliff, but only if you believe that you actually will fly. Otherwise, I would suggest you're in for a very hard landing. So don't dishonor your belief system. Don't just think, all right, I'll just throw caution to the wind and ignore my beliefs. That will always get you smacking into that brick wall we're going to talk about tomorrow. But the idea is that when you work with your beliefs and understand why you have the belief that you can't be supported in something that you love as opposed to something you don't love, then when you work with those beliefs, you can change them. And the more you change them, the more you will relax into understanding how your excitement can, in fact, support you. One very strong exercise that I would always suggest to many of you, because it is based in your own reality, so it has more opportunity to stick in your mind, is to look at examples in your world of people that are making a living, in fact making a wonderful living, being supported by doing nothing but the thing that excites them the most. Because I guarantee you, when you look at them and understand how they're doing that, you will understand that if they can do it, you can do it. There is nothing special about them in that context. If you can see it, if you can attract into your reality an example of someone acting on their joy and being supported in their life by doing so, if you could have attracted that example into your reality, if you were capable of even perceiving it, that means you are capable of living it. Otherwise, you wouldn't have been capable of perceiving it, because reality doesn't do pointless things, and you cannot perceive what you are not the potential vibration of. You follow?
Yes.
Does this help?
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And there you have it. So I hope that you find your greatest happiness or your greatest excitement when you are looking for something in your life, that maybe a new job or maybe a new way to be able to feel like you're getting into something that you enjoy in life. I wanted to give some tips. The first one is, and I know it's a little late, but then again, it's really not. And it's called giving thanks for friends. You know, as much as you'd like to travel across the country to be with your family for Thanksgiving, you and some of your friends must stay put to do work, or schedules can get in the way, or your budget doesn't allow you to fly a plane. That doesn't mean you have to go turkeyless on the deliciously celebrated holiday day of eating for me. And if you're stuck at home for the holidays, let it be fun and taste the opportunity maybe to host a gracious gathering with your friends as a way to celebrate friendship and give thanks for the love and support of those people that you bring into your life. This person was one of America's most exciting, entertaining experts and the author of the wildly successful Simple, Stunning series of entertaining books. And she has 2 terrific recipes for a friendship-only Thanksgiving get-together. Regardless of the holiday, being alone when your family is making merry without you can leave you feeling very blue. So the goal is to help everyone celebrate more often without sacrifice, encouraging a friends-only gathering if you can't make it home for Thanksgiving. Sharing a meal with your friends on Thanksgiving is a great way to celebrate that friendship. And the entertaining expert explains, if your work schedule doesn't permit a trip home to the family, or if you just want to stick closer to home, a friendship-only gathering is a wonderful opportunity to bond, exchange recipes, and focus on gratitude. Plan ahead and plan accordingly. Now remember, you can do this for Christmas also. You may not have as much success in throwing a friendship party together at the last minute, but your friends may make other plans. So rally your friends as soon as you know you won't be traveling for Christmas or for another holiday and get them involved in making the event a team effort. Choose a theme for the meal. You will want a traditional Thanksgiving. If so, as the host, you can prepare the turkey and stuffing, or better yet, make some maple glazed Cornish hens so that everyone gets 2 drumsticks, and let your guests bring the side dishes, desserts, and wines for dinner. Opt for an alternative theme. A girls only or a friends only Thanksgiving gives you the opportunity to do something totally different. If you'd like to add a fresh twist, consider weaving in another culinary element, such as an Italian theme. Think white mushroom lasagna, autumn fruits and cheeses, and crusty garlic bread with sausage. Or add a more global vibe with curries, bread, and spicy rice dishes. The main thing is to keep it casual and relaxed. One of the advantages to staying close to home for Thanksgiving is avoiding the stress that comes with traveling, dealing with negative family dynamics, or bustling in an already crowded kitchen to get the Thanksgiving feast on the table. Keep the celebration low-key and start the party mid-afternoonish. Have a toast with sparkling wine or cider or whatever you like to drink. And as it will not only taste great, but will also perfume your whole home. Most important, make sure you take the time to sit back, sip whatever drink you decide, and relax alongside your guests. Don't start freaking out and running around and trying to make a perfect event and then forget to be able to sit down and be a friend. Try these budget-friendly Thanksgiving tablescape ideas. Buy some white unscented pillar and votive candles at your dollar store and nestle them between bowls of green apples, pears, and walnuts. Bring the outdoors in. Take advantage of the natural elements in the yard and decorate your table with twigs, pine cones, and leaves. Look in your refrigerator for fun table accents. For example, turn a mushroom upside down and use it as a place card holder. Use your best china, but instead of fancy placemats or tablecloths, use colorful striped or patterned dish towels for a high-low flea market chic look. Also, cook ahead. It's an admitted comfort food freak. Preferring time-saving meals that you make in advance can actually taste better the next day, right? Food always tastes better the next day. So, like high-quality seasoned ingredients prepared very simply with lots of elemental flavor in dishes, get better when you make them the day before. The entertaining expert suggests serving foods that evoke warm, filling, comfort-pleasing feelings and flavors. Okay, now, what happens if you're alone on Thanksgiving? Maybe you're an only child and your parents have booked an Alaskan cruise for the entire month of November. Perhaps you're recently divorced and you and your ex have decided it's best not to reunite for dinner with the kids. Or maybe for logistical reasons, your far-flung family simply hasn't been able to get it together, leaving you on your own. How do you make it through Thanksgiving without feeling completely rejected? Well, one, remember, you're not the only one. Holidays like Thanksgiving and Christmas witness a peculiar self-selection effort. Anyone who has anywhere to go is out and extremely visible, while folks who have nowhere to go tend to huddle inside their houses and apartments. So while it may seem as if everyone is enjoying Thanksgiving with family and friends, there are actually a large number of very normal people spending the day alone, just like you. Look on the bright side. Many of the folks you see packing the kids into the family SUV, inching their way through snowstorms or airports through heavy traffic, and juggling their carrying luggage with one hand while trying to keep a pumpkin pie level with the other, would kill for the chance to spend Thanksgiving alone. For the vast majority of people, this is a holiday to be endured rather than actually enjoyed. So all in all, you're probably way better off than you think. Okay? All right. So remember all of these things when you're trying to get your self together for a day alone, or maybe call some friends for a last minute, hey, what are you doing? You alone? Come on over. Go down to the convenience store. Go down to Walmart. Pick yourself up some wine or pick up something. Come on over. Grab a movie. Whatever. Let's just get together. There's two ways to do it. Either is just fine. Amber wants to know before we, end this radio show, what can she know about her finances over the next 6 months? Well, Amber, I have November, December, January, February, March, and April. One of the things, sweetie, I see is that you keep getting your financial situation bogged down by dramatic emotional moments where you go hog wild spending the little bit that you have, which puts you right back at square one with being broke and miserable. So your reading suggests, why not next time you're having an emotional breakdown, to not run to the internet shopping or not run to the Black, holiday sale, and just work on trying to spend as little as possible. Everyone will understand. Everybody's in the same boat. Maybe there are some family members or whatever around the holidays that think that you're supposed to spend as much as they do, but then a lot of them, they're on martyr complexes anyway and think if they're spending a lot of money on you, then you're going to be beholding and thinking they're awesome sisters or friends. So guess what? Just don't worry about those times that you're broke, especially around Christmas. And remember, stop emotional spending. Curb it. Whatever you do, make your shopping list, then put it away until the next day when you wake up with another state of mind. Don't spend the shopping cart money on the internet the same day that you're making it. Wait. Give it a day or two, and then ask yourself, can you really do this? And if you can, and the answer is yes, well, then go ahead and spend that money. We're going to listen to one more CD or one more talk from Bashar, and this is on spirit guides and trust.
Hello, Bashar.
Andrew, good day.
Thank you. Good day to you, too.
Speak up, speak up.
I shall. I just have a quick 2 questions. Do I have any relationship to the Palladian civilization?
Do you mean the Pleiadian?
Yes, thank you for the pronunciation. Yes.
And the next question?
Oh, yes. if I could ask if there's any information coming through from my spirit guides.
All the time. Don't you hear them? Don't you feel them?
Yes, I do.
Then why are you asking me?
'Cause you're right.
Well, it's a good question. Why are you asking me?
I was just asking if you have...
Why are you asking me?
I'm not sure.
Yes, you are.
Yes, I do. Yes, okay. Let me
It
think
means
about
you
it.
doubt yourself, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for your honesty. Why do you doubt yourself? Why do you doubt the things that you feel?
I just question myself.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm always here and there. I don't know.
Here and there? Which here? Which there? Would you rather be now?
Yes.
All right. Would it be more joyful to be now?
Absolutely.
All right. Does it really matter where the inspiration comes from? Yes, all of you have different kinds of connections.
Right.
All of you have spirit guides. They are constantly communicating with you. It depends on what you are capable of perceiving and picking up on. Yes, many of you have what you call extraterrestrial connections. You do have Pleiadian and Sirius connections, among others, as many of you do. But again, the idea is, how is it applicable in your physical life? If you are inspired to do certain things that are representative of your joy, then all the information you're probably receiving from them probably has to do with giving you more of an ability to be more of your true self in this physical reality anyway. So it really just comes down to paying attention to your inspiration and your imagination and trusting it, doesn't it?
Yes.
Are you willing to do that?
Absolutely.
Why?
Because it's my highest excitement.
Because it is who you are.
It is
Yes.
who I am.
Is this answering your question?
Most definitely. Thank you so much.
Does it answer mine?
Does it answer your question?
Yes. Why do you doubt yourself?
I don't anymore.
Thank you.
I really don't. That's what I needed. Thank
Now,
you.
one moment. Please understand, as this connects to what we talked about in terms of shifting from parallel reality to parallel reality, all of you again, please remember that what you call your physical personality is just a construct. It's an artificial construct composed of definitional beliefs, emotions, and thought patterns and actions. When you say, I don't anymore, you are actually shifting into a new person, literally a new person. And thus, actually, if you really realize that the moment you shift, you are literally, not metaphorically, literally a new person in a new reality, then it's not really an issue of, I don't anymore. It's an issue of, I never did. Because the new person never has. Because the new person has a new history. Because you create the past from the present. So if you have actually shifted into a new person, that person doesn't have the same history that the person who was here a moment ago had. You are literally a new person all the way up and down the timeline that you've created for yourself. So it's not I never did, it's I never had. I've never doubted myself. That's who I am now.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Most definitely.
That's how you anchor it in. You follow?
Thank you. Absolutely, yes.
Thank you.
Thank
and
you.
And you.
So I guess what that's saying is that if in 2015 or from this day on, that you, first of all, we are all hearing internally messages from our guides at all times. There's not one person that's hearing more messages than another person. There is a sense also that many times in the spiritual field, we believe that we have to look up to other people because we believe that they have better connections with their psychic guides than we do. I don't think that that's true. In the same way that if you want to be an amazing runner, you have to practice daily running. And if you want to be an amazing cook, you have to practice cooking. So if you want to be an amazing intuitive and you feel that whatever you want to embrace in the spiritual field. Maybe you want to be a more empathic. Then start keeping a journal. Start to write down the thoughts that you have by observing around you little symbolic things, like maybe a feather on your path, or whatever it is that that feather may represent, flight, soaring. What is it that you're soaring on? Is there something that you are about to do? Is there a new chance coming of a job? Is there a new chance of a car coming that you can afford? Whatever these little things around you, they're all speaking to you from your angel guides. Understand that as you start to tune in to the frequency of your guides every single day, on the most minute things, you'll start to notice synchronistic things happen. Not coincidences, but those messages that you were feeling, if you're keeping them in a journal and just seeing one by one what things are happening, just like that little message that you had happen. Another thing is to realize that if you are getting into the spiritual field, it's always good to practice learning the ability to block. Some people feel that it is impossible for them to learn the ability to block. What is blocking? Blocking is like listening to a radio show. If you feel fearful of a circumstance or fearful of a situation or doubtful, you can either completely absorb yourself in that feeling, or you can change the channel of the frequency that you're feeling, that emotion, to a different one. Maybe it's by listening to a certain song. Maybe it's by just saying no, just like say no to cigarettes, say no to drugs, say no to whatever you're trying to do. You can learn to change the frequency of your thoughts. And when you change the frequency of your thoughts and observations, maybe one day you're realizing everything you're focusing on is negative. All you can see from the very minute was the cat puke on the floor, the sense that there's a rip in the curtain, the toothbrush looks like it needs cleaning, and all that you see is that friend and that friend and that friend and see their faults. You are in a negative station of your spirituality. Change the channel. If you're at a Thanksgiving dinner tomorrow and you start to notice that all you're seeing are the faults of the people around you, numb out. Change the channel of your frequency and you will change the way you see things. Make a conscious effort to change the channel of how you're seeing things. Try to numb out from those negatives. It's maybe the only way that you can get through the day tomorrow. Maybe you'll see things in a whole different way. And if you are looking for spiritualists to give you messages on how or what your messages have to tell, your angels or guides or spiritual entities are telling you, remember, they're talking to you all the time internally. You just have to pay attention. Your angels are speaking to you. Are you hearing them? Are you listening to them? Or are you always going to be dependent on others telling you what they are? Practice mindfully every day to keep a journal of the messages and practice blocking negative thoughts or negative observations, and you change the channel on your negative thinking to more positive thinking. And when you change the channel on more positive thinking, pretty soon you'll start to see the smiles. You'll start to see that the cat's fur is soft. You'll start to see, okay, I just pick up the cat puke with the toilet paper and I clean it. Or whatever that seems negative. You're just going to change it. So you can find me on thecallingoflight.com for a private reading on your concern, for a 15-minute reading for 30, or a half hour for 60. I'll be around. So let's schedule a reading for you. Bye.
Psychic radio, holistic radio, spiritual radio. This is AchieveRadio.com. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/AchieveRadio.
Hi, I'm Ann Marie Nov at Achieve Radio's Tarot Joy. Come on upstairs. Grab yourself a tapestried pillow and get a down-home, honest reading with 30 years Master Tarot channeling experience. In addition, I will have a weekly spiritual guest from around the world. That's 2 readings per call for you. After the show, I invite you to come on over to thecallingoflight.com. I offer PayPal readings at 15-minute or 30-minute sections of time.